Morning. It's pretty early. It's 5:15. It's bright out here. We had a beautiful sunrise this morning, but I'm just heading to the greenhouse with some buckets. There are some cut flowers that I need to cut early this morning before it gets hot. They weren't all opened. They weren't all open last night, and I didn't bother cutting them. I was covering my plants. As you can see behind me, I covered all of the stuff I have planted that are a little bit sensitive to freezing temps. I was concerned we would have a hard freeze last night. It doesn't really feel like we had. The water's not frozen. It's only 2 degrees Celsius is all, so it's not too bad. Pretty good. I've been patiently waiting for these tulips to open up just slightly, just to crack open so I could pop them out of the ground and put them in the cooler. They're just taking their sweet time. They don't want to pop yet. Tulip is showing colors, but it's not quite ready. So that's probably it for right now. I'm gonna go have a coffee. Welcome to my channel. I'm Christy if you're new, and if you are not new and you've been here for a while, hey guys, did you miss me? Sorry I've been away. I just was in the house to grab my mega pint of water, and I am going to go show you what's going on here in the greenhouse. I was harvesting cut flowers, this morning I was harvesting cut flowers, and I realized you guys haven't seen this place, and I've been so busy that I hadn't had a chance to give any updates. So today's the day. This is something that's really a big shift, a big change here, and I'm gonna flip this around and show you what's going on. So essentially this is the first official garden tour of 2022. I hope you enjoy. I'll see you back here in a bit. We changed some fencing here so the animals cannot go in. There's way too many things that are toxic to animals, and quite honestly, I'm getting tired of them being in my stuff. So we put up some fencing. It has like a mesh netting around all the sides of my garden space. It's not the prettiest, but it gets the job done. It is wildly inconvenient to have this set up the way it is, but I was getting really tired of going and planting stuff and finding half-eaten muskrats and things that the dogs were burying, and the chickens are jerks. They're jerks. They're little dinosaurs with big egos, and they hate me. I swear, they hate me. They hate all the work I'm doing. They just want me to do it over again and tick me off. I think that that's their life purpose in life. Some kind of karmic thing, I bet you. Me and technology today. Oh my goodness, I thought I was recording. I wasn't recording. Let's try this again. Take 2. So over here we have a Dills Atlantic giant pumpkin. I'm gonna try it in a grow bag. In previous years, I've had squash planted in this retaining wall, and the squash would like come out and like, it was just like this vining mat. It was beautiful. It looked so gorgeous with all the different squashes and everything. So what I'm wanting to do is I want that to spread out. I'm going to try to trim it down so it doesn't affect the gate, but I also want it to kind of cover this whole area through the fence and all the different things, just to make it a little bit more appealing for the temporary setup that we have this year. Okay, Guinea, thank you. I did do some planting over here, just some perennials. There's some yarrow, and I did put some gomphrena here to see how, because this area is quite dry. So I think the gomphrena will do well. These are delphiniums that have come back from last year. About half of them come back, which is fine. I'm good with that. Very happy with that. These are liatris that came back from last year. So about half of those ones came back. I planted those in the fall. In here, these are more liatris that I spring planted. They're not up yet, but I just heavily mulched them to kind of just, I guess I'm trying to do a succession of them. Here is, we have some status, and this is the lupins. A lot of these lupins came back from last year. We had a whole bunch of lupins started. I did start some this spring, and I added some more. I popped in some status in there to kind of break it up with different texture, and I find the status is working really good for me for weed suppression. Over here is more liatris. This is the white and purple kind of liatris, and over here on this fence I'm putting, this is like a trellis back here. What I have on the back side of this part is hollyhocks, and I also have foxglove. So it's going to be really full and lush in here, and just with different textures and different bloom times and such. So there's a lot of things planted in here. It's got a lot of stuff, but mainly I wanted to put the perennial hollyhocks on the back side, and I'm probably going to have to do some heavy pruning on them. You had seen my video with I planted some lilies here, and then that is all Lizianthus. On the back side of that, on the back side of the Lizianthus, we had planted gladiolus, and there was a lot of gladiolus, and they are starting to pop up, which is awesome. You can see. There they are. They're starting to poke their little heads through, so that made me happy. And these guys did great. This is also this is also gladiolus. Very weedy. I have not weeded it yet. Over here, nothing really come up for a lot of the things, but I do see Molly was in here digging, and so yeah, that. I put in, I'm going to try this again. I put in a rhubarb. The grasshoppers totally killed my rhubarb that I had. They killed 2 plants. They chewed it right down. So this is a really bad spot for growing anything. So I'm going to try doing that this year. Rhubarb, see how it does here. So these are very new. We just put these in. Molly was also digging in here. These are apple trees. This one's blooming. It had been blooming when I picked it up. They had some frost and stuff, but they're okay. We just put these 2 in, and the type of apples they are. Oops. They are a September ruby apple. And they are hardy to zone 2, but these are good for zone 1. I looked it up, and they're a zone 1 apple, and even on the tag it says zone 1. So these should be good. my trees, we did some pruning on the other ones that I was concerned about, and they came back. The one is starting to come back and bud up. So we got these. So I was really happy. Despite my chickens' efforts, the tulips that we planted in this bed last year, they come up again. I have not done anything to this bed at all. I've neglected it. I did do some pruning, but this hydrangea definitely had some winter damage on the tops of it. Anywhere like up to the layer where there was snow around it, it seems to be pushing new growth, but anything that was above the snow is basically brittle. So I'm gonna try wrapping it this winter. We had negative 55 degrees Celsius wind chills this winter, and it was just too much on that little zone 3 or zone 4 in our zone 2. So I'm amazed that it did this well. But I'm going to show you, if you want one of the most beautiful and productive trees and you're living in a climate like I'm at, even if you have really harsh winters, this is what you want. I'm going to show you. It's gorgeous. It's in full bloom. Okay. Isn't she pretty? My Saskatoon Bush. This is also known as a service berry? Yeah, it's a service berry. I love it. I love it. I love it. It grew really, really tall this year. But isn't it pretty? Wow. She's so gorgeous. And it will fill right up with Saskatoon berries. And Saskatoons are, I like Saskatoons more than I like blueberries, to be honest. I like Saskatoon jam. I like Saskatoon pancakes and Saskatoon muffins. And of course pie. Way better than blueberry. So this is my... And I pick a lot off of, there's like probably 6 trees here. And this thing's huge. It is one of my faves. It's a beautiful tree. One of the other things that I did is I put up a fence around the garden. This was before we had everything else fenced off. But I do have peas, and I had some carrots seeded, and I started putting peppers and stuff in it, but it was just so hot the last few days, and my soil, it's not hydrating. So I need to figure that out. But I'll show you here. I also have a zinnia. Here in our pool planter, we have carnations, snapdragons. This is stock. It's really, really short and whatnot. The stuff that's in the greenhouse that I have planted tightly together and under the sunflowers is doing much better. I'll show you, but yeah, it's not doing the greatest. And this is our Lizianthus that I planted out. It froze, it hadn't froze, but it was like really cold temps. We had negative 8 degrees Celsius after I planted in here, and it's doing okay. I have not weeded this bed at all. I've been working on weeding everything else, trying to keep up. So, and these are Ranunculus. I'm thinking I need a shade cloth because I'm worried because we've been up to 25 degrees Celsius in the last couple of days. And it's not really cooling off, so I want to make sure that they give me some good blooms. Over here we have our lilies. They're doing really, really well. And my strawberries came back and they're doing great. Some surprise garlic. I forgot I planted garlic in here. And what really made me happy was to see asparagus. It's really popping up. I've been snacking on it and such, so that was really cool. And I'm gonna dig out these raspberries and put them someplace else. Since my asparagus is doing so well, I want to move out the raspberries, but I think the raspberries are great to have to give some evening shade. So I need to show you inside before I lose all the light. I'll show you in the greenhouse and the progress. It's after 9. I think it's probably closer to 10 o'clock and the sun is just starting to go down. So I'll give you a tour of the greenhouse and all its glory. I've been out here every day at 5 a.m. harvesting and making a trip to the florist, or not every day, but every day that I can. So yeah, it's starting to get really busy, and things are starting to really flush in and bloom and show their beauty. So you're not gonna believe how different it looks. I'll give you the grand tour. By the way, it is really weedy. I am planting right in the ground, and it's not all planted, and the reason it's planted really strangely is because we had flooding, and for 2 weeks of this spring there was an inch of water in here and we kept trenching it out. We've been flooding. We even had our sewer back up in our house. Like, there's just been a lot of things going on here in our area with water. And because this is our first year with this greenhouse, we set it up in November, which was really dumb, but we did it because that's what we had to work with. And so it's been a lot of work for me to get water redirected and be able to plant in here, and having to haul dirt in by hand myself because I'm doing this myself. It's been a lot of work. So it's weirdly planted and there's lots of weeds. Don't judge me. I'm doing the best I can. Okay. One of the things that I love the most is up here. I have hanging baskets. These work so good for melons and cucumbers. I have cucumbers, and I think, what's in here? I think that's a cucumber. And that's, yeah, cucumber. I can't read it. I'm too short. And then I have a watermelon. This is a sugar baby. And these are cucumbers. And these are, this is a Halona, Halona cantaloupe. That's a cantaloupe and a weed. And these are cucumbers. Down here are sweet potatoes, and I'm going to be moving those outside. And then in here I have stock, and there's some dahlias in here. The sunflowers are one and done kind of plants. The stock do better with the sunflowers because it makes them grow taller. Because the stock is actually a dwarf variety. It's called hotcakes. They're so gorgeous. Very, very pretty. And I have also some liatris in here. And so once the stock is done, I'll cut them out. Then it'll be the sunflowers will be done. I'll cut them out. And then the dahlias by then should begin their debut, and they'll be the only ones left in here in this little planter. I might also dig the dahlias out and put them into the center part here where all of my brassicas are. But I guess I'll show you the brassicas first. They are stunning. I do have just a bunch of random pots here. There's just different things, the eucalyptus and whatnot, some really sad peppers that got overwatered, just different things, just trying different ways of growing things to see what works best. So the brassicas, look at this. Aren't they stunning? No bug damage. I need to harvest it and preserve it in the fridge because it's so big. And the other thing, you're not gonna believe this. I was shocked when I seen this. Gotta find it. Look at this. I need to harvest these. They're little baby kohlrabis. Look at that. They're big already. So there's quite a few of them. And the cabbages are starting to get heads on them. Not those ones, not so much. The broccoli is getting heads. Yeah, here. We're getting heads on them. So these are behind. All of these varieties, if you recall, they were meant to be harvested the first week of June, but because we had flooding and my furnace stopped working in here, we had some really cold nights, and it was so saturated. There was water like sitting in here, and they all got too much water and not enough heat. It was just too cold. So major setbacks with them. The kale is picked up now. I'm gonna start harvesting that and preserving it. Just all of this stuff has to be preserved. Once they head up, I do preserve the leaves. I'm gonna dehydrate them or like freeze dry them and use them in soups and powders for making cream soups and stuff, or sauces. And these are all choy in here. I can see they're going to seed, so I need to harvest them immediately. But yeah, there's a lot. And then the cabbages are heading up. There's different varieties in here, and I can't remember. I can link the video, but we're getting little heads in them. Nice, tight little cabbages. They're super cute. And yeah, they're doing very, very well, considering. More kohlrabi. Down here the stalk is doing really well. It's really weedy, but I have this stalk in between the sunflowers, and it's really helping get some stem length. They love it. They really do well together. It was an experiment. I've harvested most of them, but they're doing very, very well in this combination. So I will do that again next year. And we're getting little, the heads are staying really small because I densely planted all of the sunflowers together, which was my goal. I wanted some very neat and tidy, small, compact sunflowers for the early spring. And so here it is early spring for us. But I'm going to flip around and show you the other side here. These are super cute. I've been harvesting these when they're this stage and taking them in, so I haven't really seen them open. This is the stage I've been harvesting them at. I haven't seen them open, but they're so pretty. They're like a peach. Very gorgeous. I'm really loving them in here this way. I think these are sunfills. That's what these are. They look like succulents. Aren't they neat? So I'm enjoying them as well. I really like this stalk. It's so pretty. So what I'm doing is I harvest the sunflowers and the stalk, and then I'm putting in peppers in their place. And I'm just kind of doing that as this row is coming out, because these are cut once. Everything in this row is cut once, and then it's gone. So the sunflowers, I cut the stem right off and it's gone. Same with the stalk. So as those are coming out, peppers are going in, and I'm hoping to have a really long season of peppers into the fall. On this side, everything is doing great. I haven't weeded anything. I need to trellis my tomatoes. I have so much going on with this stuff here. It needs to be done. It's a jungle. I'll give you a tour of that another day. We'll look at the flowers before we lose light. So over here we have our verbena, which looks really weird. This is Dara Ami. This is more verbena. These are carnations and they're starting to get buds on them. We're really excited to see them bud up. These are straw flowers, and this is some status that's starting to get heads on them. We have more straw flowers here, and then marigolds. And I was really excited about this today, where this is one of the small successions of snapdragons that I started. And look, yes, this was not open today, this morning when I harvested. So I'm really excited to see these all starting to bud up. This was all saturated with a lot of water. This is Dutch's asters in here, and this flooded. It took me like 4 days to get the water to stop drowning them out. The raspberry gomphrena, it did not make it through the flooding, but the stalk did well. So I've been harvesting on these gorgeous things. They're just beautiful. Beautiful flowers. This is Dusty Miller. It's still staying quite short, but that's pretty typical. Back here, this is blue Delph Nigelia, and I'm waiting for this to get to the pod stage. We'll see though, I don't know. It's starting to turn color, so we'll see. We'll see if I harvest it or let it go to pods. This is Scabiosa back here, and it's beginning to bud up. This is just a very small succession. It was an experiment. This is Firemint Chinese Forget-Me-Not. This is one small succession of this Firemint. It's beautiful. I'm really excited to have this in the garden this year. This here, these are Ranunculus, and they handled this really well. They like the spot, so I'm really happy with that. This is Status. It's starting to get little heads on it. And then these are sunball flowers. Sunballs or drumstick flowers. The florists have a different name for them, I can't remember, but they're really starting to bud up. This is some more, oh, this is feverfew here. And the feverfew is starting to get little flowers. This is some more stalk. And this is stock that I started from seed. It's flushing in. And then we have, this is Godacia. Godacia is a great cut flower. I have not grown it before, so I'm really excited to try it. And then over here we have Zinnias. Really excited to have Zinnias. They survived all the flooding. And then the Cosmos, they're struggling for sure. This is a Dara in here, and some snapdragons, just random things. Over here we have some Lizianthus. I'm trying to see how they grow inside the greenhouse. I'm going to grow more of these in the greenhouse next year. I wish I would have planted them closer together. I don't like the spacing. I wanted them tighter, but they're doing really good. Look at this. Like, it's giant. They're white ones, so I'm really happy to have them. My peppers did not survive or handle the flooding very well. None of this stuff did very well except for the celery. The celery's like, heck yeah, I love my life. Let's make Caesars. But I'm not even gonna go over there because it's still really wet. So that is what's going on inside the greenhouse. There's lots of other things in pots still. There's still some dahlias and all the fun things, but I want to show you the other greenhouse before we run out of light there too. So let's scurry on over before that sun goes down, and I'll show you what's going on there. Okay, so I screwed up. There was quite a few vlogs ago, I talked about how I forgot to come out and put row cover on the beds, and it got like really cold, and I come in here and I was like pushing on the soil and it was frozen. I did manage to pull those Ranunculus through that, but then we had another dip down night and it just did them in. They were struggling, so I just ripped them out. I'm like, done with that. I failed. Lessons learned. So I planted some carrots and different things and sown some seeds. So I will show you though that the areas of soil where I treated the Ranunculus, the areas of soil that I put the potato fertilizer on as a second application. So after the first time I tried it, and that video is ages ago where I made a potato fertilizer. As an experiment, I put it in the beds, and the Ranunculus that actually was in that, just kind of an observation, they pulled through, and I'll show you those here in a sec. So here I pulled all the Ranunculus out and I put Goldfinger carrots in. They're 65 to 70 day carrot. So I sowed them in here, and I'm trying to keep the soil nice and moist. And then here there's a few Ranunculus that survived. And I just kind of went around the ones that did okay. Like this area here, these Ranunculus, I had spread the potato stuff on them, or on the soil, and they did okay. Here they died where I didn't put any, and so I actually put cherry bell radishes in here. I sown in here. They're just starting to come up now. And then these Ranunculus here, they survived. And then I put more radishes in here because this little strip here didn't survive, and that strip over there didn't survive of Ranunculus, so I sown dill there. But these guys did, and like this one's budding up. I should actually pop this one off, but I'm gonna pop this off. I don't want it to bloom yet. I need scissors. Scissors? Where are you? Felt like Nicole from Flower Hill Farm there for a minute. Scissors? Summoning the scissors? Okay. I'm sorry, Ranunculus. You were probably really pretty, but we need longer stems. I hate doing that. I feel like a meanie. Okay. These guys are radishes. They need to come out because they're blocking. It's actually good that they're here because they're blocking a little bit of the light. So these are stretching a bit more. These are Ranunculus. And look at, I saturated this bed, like saturated it with that potato fertilizer. And look at them. They're gorgeous. So also the stalk looks amazing. This stalk froze solid, like it was gross, and it made a really good comeback. And I don't remember what these are. They're either straw flowers or calendula. And then down here, my little sad Ranunculus, or my sad Lizianthus, decided it was going to survive. All of them did. They all decided they were going to survive. So, and this stuff is not bitter yet. I've been eating it every day faithfully, and it's not bitter. So I'm not ripping it out yet. Even though it's 25 above, I'm not ripping it out yet. Here is carrots. I sowed the Canada carrots. These are a 95 day carrot. So I can pack this whole thing into the greenhouse if we don't quite make her. But I'm going to actually rip this out and plant some more carrots in this one as well. I'm going to try to keep carrots in here as long as I can, to see if I can store them outside instead of just in the car garage. These Ranunculus are doing great. This was another one that I did the potato fertilizer in. On this side, it doesn't get the water, and you can see it's struggling a bit. I need to come in with a can and water it. But things are doing really well. Things are happy. Look at my little Lizianthus. They're like, yay, I'm going to get tall and be happy. They're wanting to stretch out. I fertilized them. I forgot about them in here, and And this ranunculus here, it wants to burst open so badly. I should pinch that one too, but I'm gonna leave it because I want to see one. I just want a cheery little flower in here. It's not gonna, I don't expect it to perform. The tulips come up and they're, every day I'm picking and pulling and taking them to my florist. I noticed that the daffodils are starting to poke up, so I'm really excited for that. This one starting to show some color, really pretty. So in here I have zinnias. This is my first succession of zinnias in this bed. I have other trays started I have to plant out yet. But this is Cinderella Peach right here, this first section. Then we have cupcake zinnias. Then we go to double fire zinnia, bonfire zinnia. We have peppermint zinnia, Queenie lime zinnia, Zahara sunset, State Fair, Bennery's giant. And then I have a whole bunch more to finish off this row. I haven't decided if I'm going to do sunflowers and then put my other succession of zinnias someplace else. I haven't decided yet. These are all of my Lizianthus that I had left are all in here, this first section. And over here we have the Astilbe peach. They're doing really well. These are perennials. They love this crappy soil and it's really wet here. They're loving it. And these guys are really happy out here as well. I've been watering them, hand watering them. These are my really sad snapdragons. They're just assortments of things here. Snapdragons here. We have calendula, which is, I've shown you this before in previous videos, cosmos and calendula. And then I planted out Dusty Miller. This is limoncello chrysantella asters. It's a limoncello. And also, I think there's another variety, I can't remember. And we have bunny tails. I have some more sunballs. Or no, sunballs, and then I don't know what that is. I don't know, I forgot to label it. Bad, Christy. Oh yeah, sunballs. And then these guys are snapdragon. These are Legend Light snapdragon. These are black buttons, which are bachelor buttons. And then over here we have orange flash calendula and bells of Ireland, my second succession of bells of Ireland, and firemint forget-me-not and mystery rose forget-me-not. Then I have some more verbena, and then a bunch of Mod Podge of things that I don't remember because I forgot to label them and I have no idea what they are. So these are the Bridal Veil asters, or sorry, Astilbe, Bridal Veil Astilbe. They really like this spot. And they're all the way down. It's a mixture of Bridal Veil and peach. And then back here we have onions and carrots. So red onions on this side, and then just these are all storage onions, and they're doing really well now that the chickens are locked out. So I hope you enjoyed my first garden tour. I know it was really quick. Well, kind of quick. There's so many things to show you, and I've been trying to keep up on weeding and just get everything in the ground. So once I get everything planted, I would love to spend a little bit more time and go over details of what I have going and what's working for me and what I'm doing, and you know how I'm doing my harvests, different things like that. It's been a real rush. I've been absent, and I do apologize for that. I do miss connecting with you and talking with you guys, and I'm gonna try to make more time. Today I had time to do this video because Tyson and Chaz went to a ball game, so I thought this would be a really great opportunity since I don't have to do any cooking, and I thought I will spend it with you tonight. And so I'm glad I had this chance to give you an update. I hope you enjoy, and I hope to see you here again soon. I'm getting ate alive by mosquitoes. Ugh, they're driving me crazy. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm gonna go in, with my mega pint of water, put my feet up, and edit this video. Catch you next time. Take care. Bye for now. I was just walking back to the house and I realized I didn't tell you what's on this trellis here. Beans. I put beans and yeah, there's beans, purple beans, and also I have some squash and what else? Oh, melons. And the melons are gonna be spread out on the gravel. I'm gonna let them vein all over, which is really pretty. And over there, I have cucumbers in that trough. And the reason I do, because Tyson loves cucumbers and he stands out on the deck smoking his cigarettes and he sees a cucumber, he can't resist it. So it's my attempt to get him to eat more vegetables. It's in his face. See if it works. Okay, really, bye now. Bye-bye.